The idea here is that your motivation is sound, but what's the impact? And I think a lot of people out there, fans of yours, people who love you, people who are fans of you, like me, I've been fans of you.
You don't have to patronize me, dude. I don't know you. I never met you.
I'm just saying that this comes from
not
a place
everybody
of
has to like it.
All I'm
That's
saying
what we said. There are people who didn't want it to happen at all. You sound like one of them. It's
no,
okay.
no.
But did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Like, what is the alternative to not talking? Just sit at your lunch table and don't talk to anybody. I said in the piece I did not think that was going to happen.
In that case, then go with
I love the people on either side who ignore the parts they don't like, and then I just did it. It wasn't like it was 3 weeks ago.
Bill Maher had dinner with Trump, and the left went ballistic. Woke warriors screamed betrayal. Twitter lit up like a bonfire. So Maher brought one of them on his show. The guy came in swinging. Furious, Maher dared to break bread with the enemy. But Maher, he clapped back hard. "This is America," he said. "I'll have dinner with whoever I damn well please." No apology, no backpedal, just pure, unfiltered Maher. The left wanted him to bow. He gave them a Let's hit pause for a second because something stinks. You know how these clout chasers play the game? They show up all smiles, dripping with fake admiration, like they're at some fanboy convention. But don't be fooled. That phony praise, it's bait. And right when you let your guard down, boom, they swing the axe like they've been waiting for blood. That's exactly what happened here. The guest opened with a love fest, laying it on so thick you'd think he was angling for a guest spot, not a showdown. But Maher, he's been in this game too long. He saw the setup coming and called it out before the guy even pulled the trigger. And trust me, the takedown, oh, it's coming. And it's delicious. But first, buckle up, because we've got to wade through this awkward mess of fake compliments and overcooked flattery. Get ready to cringe. Here's what makes Bill Maher dangerous. In the best way. The man's hypocrisy radar, razor sharp. And when someone tries to sell him flattery laced with a trap, he smells it before the first fake compliment lands. Mid-conversation, you could see it. Maher's expression shifting, patience thinning. This wasn't admiration, it was bait. Sure, you don't have to like that Maher dined with Trump. That's a fair take. Not everyone likes pineapple on pizza. We get it. But don't butter him up with theatrical praise just to sneak in a cheap shot. That's not a disagreement, that's a performance. And Maher doesn't clap for bad actors. The guest could have just said how he felt. Instead, he tried to stage a moral ambush, disguised as a fanboy moment. But Maher, he ripped the mask off, exposed the sanctimony for what it was. Fake, flimsy, and deeply condescending. It wasn't a conversation, it was a setup. And Maher dismantled it like a pro. Even Piers Morgan had to jump in and pump the brakes on the left's full-blown hysteria. Apparently, having dinner with Trump now means Maher's been brainwashed over the breadsticks and sworn loyalty to MAGA. Seriously? That's the storyline now? Let's be real. That's pure fantasy. Maher never said he'd go soft on Trump. What he did say is he's not joining the outrage cult that screams at shadows. There's a big difference between calling out real issues and throwing tantrums over nothing, and Maher knows it. The left used to know it too. Now, if you don't spit on Trump's shoes mid-convo, you're a turncoat. But Maher, he's never been anyone's puppet. And no steak dinner is going to change.
Just wants to fight.
At some point, you almost have to pity the guy. Almost. He looked like someone who wandered into the wrong room, realized too late it wasn't a safe space, and panicked mid-sentence. The plan? Strut in, drop a smug lecture, bask in applause, and leave feeling morally superior. The reality? A brutal wake-up call. Maher came in swinging with sharp logic. Then Piers Morgan jumped in, and suddenly it was a 2-on-1 masterclass in dismantling delusion. The guest brought recycled outrage. Maher brought facts. Piers brought backup. This wasn't a debate. It was a reckoning. And the guy, he never saw it coming. Maher wasn't done, and the lesson? Come prepared or get steamrolled. We've seen Bill Maher slice through woke nonsense with calm, calculated precision before. He's the king of controlled takedowns. Cool, clever, never needing to shout. But this time, something snapped. This guest wasn't just annoying. He was relentless. like a glitchy Wi-Fi signal that just wouldn't quit, crawling under Maher's skin from the jump. He didn't come to debate. He came to trap, corner, and walk out with a progressive gold star. But Maher saw it all coming, and he was done playing nice. You could feel it building, the eye rolls, the sighs, the visible irritation. Maher tried patience. He tried sarcasm. But the smugness just kept coming. And when he finally fired back, it wasn't some petty snap. It was surgical justice. But before he even took down his guest, Maher turned the flamethrower on the woke mob itself, calling out the absurd backlash over his dinner with Trump, and the message was loud, clear, and unfiltered. Take a listen, because Maher didn't just clap back, he erupted.
Each other every minute.
You could hear it. Frustration dripping from every word as Maher laid it bare. Raw, real, and unapologetically bold. This wasn't about a meal. It was about a principle. Maher didn't accept Trump's invite to kiss the ring. He did it to stand up for something bigger: dialogue, civility, and the lost art of disagreement without destruction. In a sane world, that wouldn't be controversial. But we don't live in that world. We live in a culture where dinner guests get you canceled, where tolerance is weakness and outrage is worshipped like gospel. One photo with the wrong person, and suddenly you're a traitor, a sellout, enemy of the tribe. But Maher didn't flinch. He didn't bend. He stood tall, not for Trump, but for the right to think, to talk, to listen, even when it's unpopular. This wasn't just a defense of a dinner. It was a defense of free thought in an age that's doing everything it can to kill it. This is the moment the internet short-circuited. Bill Maher, the outspoken liberal firebrand, didn't just have dinner with Donald Trump. He committed the ultimate act of heresy in the eyes of the progressive purity police. He said Trump was actually human, not a monster, not a fascist boogeyman, not the unhinged cartoon villain MSNBC breathlessly sells every night. Nope. Maher described Trump as witty, self-aware, even charming. And that sent the outrage machine into overdrive. They wanted carnage. They were foaming at the mouth for some post-dinner battle recap. Maher verbally ripping Trump apart over steak and wine, tossing napkins like grenades of moral superiority. What they got instead? A civil, nuanced conversation, a dinner that didn't end in ideological bloodshed. And to the perpetually offended, that wasn't just disappointing. It was unforgivable, because for them, Trump must remain the monster. He must be the sniveling, dim-witted dictator caricature they've crafted their entire identity around opposing. Anything less, and the mask slips. Maher's crime wasn't that he had dinner with Trump, it was that he came back and said, "The man actually laughs. He listens. He cracked jokes. He was human." Boom. Twitter meltdown. Leftist think pieces. Cancel hashtags flying like confetti. Because here's the ugly truth. The woke mob doesn't want nuance. They want war. They need the villain. They thrive off outrage addiction, where every conversation is a battlefield and every handshake is betrayal. But Maher? He walked in, sat down, and proved that dialogue, real, uncomfortable, unscripted dialogue, is still possible. And in doing so, he didn't just expose Trump. He exposed them. He exposed a left so consumed by purity tests and moral posturing that it's lost all grip on reality. They scream about tolerance until someone actually practices it. They champion free speech until someone uses it to say something they don't like. They pretend to celebrate diversity, unless that diversity includes thought. And that's what Maher torched with one dinner. He reminded the world that disagreement isn't disloyalty, that talking to the enemy doesn't make you one, that freedom of association isn't just for activists in coffee shops, it's for everyone, even at a table with Donald Trump. And the left couldn't take it. They didn't just want a political win, they wanted a purification ritual. And Maher refused to play priest. He didn't bow, he didn't grovel, he stood tall, shrugged off the shrieking backlash, and doubled down on what he's always stood for: free speech, free thought, and the guts to call BS, no matter where it's coming from. Trump didn't convert Maher, but Maher did expose the left's worst fear, that if you strip away the hysteria, talk to people like humans, and step outside the echo chamber for even 1 second, you might discover the monster under the bed isn't real, And for a movement built on fear, that's the scariest truth of all. Buckle up. This wasn't a dinner. It was a reckoning. And Maher just served the main course.